Yes, this is the bald rasta. I get some breeze around here in Kingston with the topside rear town. So up the road from, I should say, up the road from rear town. Anybody who know a rear town there? Up the road from Bellevue Hospital until, yeah, man, yeah, the one yeah, the one yeah big still, the one that big. I go through all the hurricane, or the near misses are far, or the one that big. So we decided say we now venture out for no work vibes last night. Because been going to work despite the water. Take a little time for yourself, yeah, man. So, all mother, brethren, and sister who are the security work. Keep safe out there, tell the truth. I myself do it, but it's a hectic job. As I was telling one of my neighbors, I have to go, when you're security, you have to go work with a rain or shine. But that's who still who want to go. You have a choice, you know. You can decline not to go. This time you can decline, and I decide I decline to go. Mm-hmm. You want me to decline, so me now I'm gonna work. Because based on my observation of the weather phenomenon here, we've been tracking the progress. I understand. Hey, what go on, my brother? Ford Mustang. You got yourself. Got yourself. You got yourself, my brother. Yes. Some place might get more heavier gust of wind right now. You know. So it's the time is in Jamaica right now. It's 3:24. Okay, thank you so much. Good to read carefully with yourself. Have a good school. Well, yeah, they are still, if you follow the weather, and a lot of overseas reporters are here, you know, recording what's taking place with this Melissa. I don't know what cat it's dropped down to. Yes, yes, see, yes, okay, cool. Yeah, man, Fox, ABC, reporters are out here. And, so we make a turn. So I must say, you see that they've been only for real and stay because you know, the whole island. Because we there to the east, we live on the east, you know, Kingston and St. Thomas is to the east of Jamaica. And you see the things that it's wide. Yeah, so please don't worry upon yourself too much because have no fear. You saw this body of mine strange. You know, better lie down away. Sleep now and forward, you know, as it's realized the camera is on, the light is on, recording, you know, to say you're going to fall asleep. Lord. Get up yourself for Mustang, brother. Monday, October 27, 2025. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28. Husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. It is a very good reminder. Yeah, the husband them out there. Yahweh expects a husband to love his wife and to care for her physical, emotional, and spiritual needs, developing thinking ability, having respect for women, and being reliable will help you as a married mate. After you have married, you may become a father. What can you learn from Yahweh about being a good father? Yahweh openly told his son, Yahshua, that he loved him and approved of him. If you become a father, make sure that you regularly assure your children that you love them. Generously commend them for the good things that they do. Fathers will imitate Yahweh's example. Help your children to develop into mature Christian men and women. You can prepare now for this role by loving and caring for others in your family and in the congregation, and learning to express your love and appreciation for them. Oh, go on. Dessert. Dessert channel, brother. Like, don't see you later. I'm somewhere busy. Okay, do your thing. Big it yourself. Just look down, I saw you. Yeah, big up yourself. The man true. Yeah, see how I will say something. Probably. Commendable here. Fathers must commend their children for the good they do. This in their confidence within themselves should help stimulate them to do fine The village received commendation for wildfire. Limited. It's like, oh, Yahweh said, "This is my beloved son, whom I have approved." Listen to him. And he was talking of Yahshua, his beloved son, as he got baptized by John the Baptist in the Jordan River. And as he came up from the water, the Holy Spirit came down in the form of a dove, and he heard a voice from the Most High God, Yahweh, saying, "This is my beloved son, whom I have approved. Listen to him." And my parents, especially fathers, should learn from him. As my peer window open, I can see the curtain move up and down. But as I say, some part might get more heavier breeze than some. So not unlike breeze where the top will belong right now, because probably by 5, 6, they might give it a bulletin report about Hurricane Melissa. The rain is falling, you can't hear the rain. No. I hear the pitter tatter. Yes. Something with the old lady, the cleaner. Why we call it the cleaner, the old lady? Because the cleaner, the Jamaican cleaner has been around for quite a while. About 100 and something years old now. We never expected this before. Right, we just say, Jamaicans are being encouraged to brace for the worst as Hurricane Melissa intensifies south of the island and is forecasting to make landfall as a Category 4 system early this week at, at a media briefing on Saturday morning. Ivan Thomas, but he's a meteorologist. Those people who talk about storms and so forth. Evan Thomas, chief meteorologist at the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, said the system is strengthening rapidly and moving slowly towards the island's southern coast. It has been a long few days and lots of activity, and of course, now we are faced by the information of tropical storm that's rapidly developing and moving closer and closer to Jamaica, Thomas said. He explained that as of 11 a.m. update, the storm was positioned at 60.5 north and 75.1 west, moving only about 2 miles per hour over the last 24 hours. The system was shortly after upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane. At this time, it's expected to be a major hurricane because what we are expecting after today is that there will be rapid intensification of the system. We said that's a phrase that some of these hurricanes go through, especially in these days of climate change. He said Melissa is projected to make impact with Jamaica's southern coastline, south of London, by Tuesday morning, and that the system will produce heavy rainfalls, flooding, and strong winds across the island. He said rainfall amounts could reach 15 to 25 inches, leading to catastrophic and life-threatening flooding. When we talk about 15 to 25 inches, this is much more than you can even imagine to experience. This is a major rain-producing event. It is considered to be producing catastrophic flooding. In some cases, they say life-threatening. We have already heard about some lives being lost in Haiti, and this is because of this system. So we must take every precaution when it comes to the rainfall. If you are in an area that is flood prone, a low lying area, you must find a way to build a relationship with somebody that would help you to move from that area to, to a shelter as soon as they are open, and make sure that you are able to ride out this old system. Now it's going to be here for a long time, lots of rainfall, and it will be with us for a good 5 days or so. Heavy rainfall, increasing wind speed, Thomas said. He confirmed that the storm is projected to reach Category 4 intensely. It will likely decrease in intensity as it moves towards the north coast, but Category 4 hurricane is more than we have experienced before. Moving across the island, Gilbert was a Category 3 hurricane when it moved over Jamaica because Category 4 and became Category 4 when it was heading to the Cayman Islands. Ivan was a Category 4, yes, but the center did not pass over the island. Beryl was a Category 4 hurricane, but it also did not impact us with landfall. Alright, that's a good article snaps of what Evan Thomas, our meteorologist expert here, was saying. Hoping for the best. And that is all of our expectation. Recovery and bridge above flooding frequently occurs in the community of Taylor Line, St. Andrew, where the ministry has requested residents to evacuate. They've been telling them for quite some time. That is out of Bolivia. 9 miles to be exact. 9 miles Bolivia. We have relatives who live out there. Grandfather in Passover, but him have a house out there and have some cousin out there. Years now, I go out there. I used to live out there with him. And I was there before when Gilbert was coming and he sent me back into Kingston to my mom's house. Because he said, if you make a house, can manage Gilbert. And he was right. He could manage it through. As dark was gathered, the over will be same time. Several residents in flood-prone communities refused to evacuate ahead of Hurricane Melissa, insisting that they would weather the storm from their homes despite government warning. On Saturday, local government minister Desmond Mackenzie urged residents in vulnerable communities such as Taylor Land in Bull Bay, Rocky Point in Clarendon, Port Royal, and New Haven to evacuate immediately, warning that the government may move to implement mandatory evacuation. The minister said he would be seeking approval from the Prime Minister based on the recommendation from the Office of Disaster Preparedness Emergency Management or the PEM. However, when the cleaner visited Taylorland on Saturday, many residents were unmoved. No, nobody now move, declared Coward. Mother still, who was even ecstatic his car outside his gate. Normally, elderly them would go, but from morning, in a see no bus. Or they used to say that normally they would have gotten a bus, to board the bus, then the elderly people would board these buses to carry them to the respective shelters outside of the community. Mother still, who lives with his grandfather, uncle, and nephew, said he felt safe because the Clarke River, which often floods during heavy rainfall, was recently cleared. From in the week, them have tractor a clean out the gully. So we now have no major problem with he explained. Having lived there all his life, he recalls only one major flooding during Ivan. He added that no one had visited the community to issue an evacuation warning. If anything serious happened, he just jump in the car and drive them out. He said nothing that he had just returned from the gas station where he filled his tank. Two women nearby also said they intended to stay put, trusting in God for protection. Okay. We are just hoping for the best, one of them said, adding that since the gully is cleaned, they will likely be safe. So what about the the extra inches of rain. They're thinking about that part. They put them calculate the part really nice. We continue from here. So they were, however, skeptical about the state of the shelters. Where are the shelters there? One woman asks. Lindsay Road, neighboring community, perished directly beside the gully and more prone to flooding residents, especially greater concerns. They fear that only minimal cleaning had been done. If them did clean the gully, we wouldn't need fifth fret, one man added, while urging the team to look for themselves. Despite their fears, most residents said they would not leave their homes unattended. We can't live through the storm, we just hug up there and watch the gully, said Sam Sasha, who lives on the gully bank with her mother as one leg. Nobody sleep cause the gully have a way of seeing when it rise, she added. We no worry about storm surge. We worry about the gully, Mish added. Meanwhile, in downtown Kingston, the mood was mixed. A few vendors were seen trying to sell off their produce before the storm. They dropped the price from 500 to 400 to try get rid of the tomatoes them before them spoiled, one vendor said. On Darling Street, before the on Darling Street, Barbara Andrew continued business as usual, grooming customers as the rain looms. It's my day-to-day activity, and every Sunday may open, he said. Andrew added that he planned to ride out the storm in his barbershop, confident that the structure was strong enough and unwilling to leave his valuables behind. Along King Street, a few homeless residents sat under the corridor of the new court building. Many said they preferred to stay put rather than to go to the shelter, citing poor conditions and safety concerns. Me nah like man and woman a mix up. Me nah like man and woman a mix up. And staff are the man, them a thief and rapist. Wow, that's a one homeless person says so in this bird. And I mean says so at the article me and read for the Hungary Audrey, a 57-year-old who lives on Orange Street. Me prefer stay me, me prefer stay at my place. Okay. Shirley 61, who has lived on the street for a decade, agreed. Them not have no bed. in the shelter. And if I mean go there, then I go in there with the man them and them not clean and smell bad. She added, oh, me like people who smell fresh and clean. But women said they plan to find other accommodations if the storm comes. The men shared similar views, stating that poor hygiene and overcrowding were the reasons they stayed away. And that is some story, reading stories that I am just reading for you all. Stories really this business lesson still feeling from Beryl. Wow. Western girls. More than a year after Hurricane Beryl ravaged Jamaica's southern corridor, residents of St. Elizabeth remained locked in a prolonged struggle for recovery. Now, with Tropical Storm Melissa, showing offshore, these same communities brace once again for nature's wrath, clinging to faith, memory, and the hope that this time will be different. In the coastal fishing district of Parati, 57-year-old fisherman Wright was busy getting his household in order last Friday. The preparation me do for the storm, me buy little food, put in on my house, and me tie it down, Wright explained, as he secured a tarpaulin atop his house, anchored it to the ground, blocking up to preserve his zinc roof. Many decide to leave a storm that comes, but have not left, he told the Sunday Gleaner last Friday. When the structure wooden house blew down, he went into a concrete building, and when my niece put me up afterward, despite the perplexity to the sea, right asserts a critical sense of safety. I don't live by the sea. It's much safer than a whole heap of people who don't live against the sea, he said. You see, if that one is full, the milk, we can use the drain and drain it out back into the sea. The sea cannot be full. That's what happens all the while. When that one is full, we go down there to bust the drain and send it to the sea. As a hurricane barrel is home and fishing gear right under to the obvious task of rebuilding with minimal assistance. 7 months after the storm, the Minister of Labor and Social Security gave me 150,000. That's only the assistance I got. He said I built back my structure on my own. The boat engine were never damaged, but all the fishing traps were gone, and I bought wire and built back my fishing pots. Now the hurricane wireless are threatening the island, right? Fears that the deluge more than the wind. To me, Hurricane Beryl was much more breezy, we said, reflecting. This one, based on my experience, is going to be mostly water. It's like walking very slow, so it's going to linger. That make me more make it more dangerous. That is right. In 57, a fisherman have wonderful experience about these natural phenomena here, right? So another right now, Renee's White, another member of the White family, lost both her home and poultry business during burial and remains in a state of stagnation. Wow. I am not making any preparation because I haven't recovered from burial as yet. The mother of two told the Sunday cleaner. As you can see, the small situation, sorry, the same situation that you see us in after the passage of hurricane of burial. That's the same thing we come and see right now. We haven't recovered from burial. So there is no preparation for this hurricane that's threatening here. Her voice and its fragility carried a quiet and unwavering faith. People came here a lot of them, but hopefully promises, she said, if we same social workers from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security and other government agencies, I have to trust God and pray because no matter how we speak out, we still got get any help. Wow. Hey, Woodpecker, what go on? Please give us a thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up, my brother. Just a quick message to make sure you and your family are safe from the hurricane. Okay, why take it easy now? Sure, I and I there. Look up yourself. I see you're in a concrete structure. And I spin the camera to the window. Just have one of them open, the top window. And as you can see, the more trees now blow. in this section, yeah, so because we're there to the east. You understand? Yeah, we're doing a concrete structures, you know, a concrete slab up. We, you know, I guess I would live on Gilbert that go on, you know, right just so. Right just so. I live, we live in so quite a good amount of years. Good amount of years we live so. I'm gonna leave my father and mother. I'm gonna go try make life out of road. Spend 11 years away from this house and come back 10 years. 10 years and come back here so. And yeah, every day I'm on keep safe so far. Alright, now we don't know that story there. Take a look on the one that had the toxic encounters. Let's see what I need to talk about. Black even here as Melissa on his mind. The recovery still ongoing. Areas of last year's devastating blow by Hurricane Beryl are still fresh, especially the desired major infrastructure damage. The multi-million-dollar hits on the farming section in several months without electricity. Black River near Richard Solomon is worried that a similar impact from Hurricane Melissa remain a fresh growth of respect for simplicity, especially among the residents who have still not yet recovered. We were one of the parishes hardest hit by the last time around. So as a result of that, we would have put these lessons that we learn into practice to improve so that hopefully we won't have to experience anything worse than the said Solomon, who was on the ground in the parish on Friday overseeing preparations. According to Solomon, with experience from last year's a committee compromise of all the critical stakeholders was recently assembled to plan a comprehensive response should the impending weather system impact the parish. We have a meeting on Tuesday where we got a state of residents from all agencies. I am happy to report that based on the feedback from all the critical agencies, such as Ministry of Labour, Ministry of Health, the Jamaica Public Service, and Water Commission, and National Work Agency, all critical agencies gave us positive feedback in terms of their state of readiness. It's 5 minutes past 4 in Kingston, Jamaica. Righteous only live 37 years ago when Gilbert passed. I should let me rephrase it. I lived here as a little boy way before Gilbert. And I was here when Gilbert, them say Gilbert come, me gone out the door, gone up and down. And people who experience hurricane run away, we had as little boys. And then they were about um, 9, 10, or 10, 11, somewhere there about. We can't remember exactly, but I have to go on my calculator and do one check. Let's see. Curiosity. I was 12. 12. Call it 11, because at the time I'm born. I was 11. 88. Gilbert come here. Passed away in 88. I was about 11. And it passed around here. Time flying. And you see it. Some people that mention about the 37. Them say something about Charlie Pass 1950, then Gilbert 88, and now 2025, Melissa. I'll be here 13, if you notice 37. Yeah, let me check it out. How will I go out with the 37? 88, Gilbert Pass 37 years ago. Now 2025, Melissa 37. Wow. Check it out, my people. 51 or 50 thereabouts. 88, 2021. 3 different storms: Charlie, Gilbert, Melissa. Wow. We are. It's a great tasting. Great. Alright, genre region, how you're reading. As a corporation, we have the responsibility of coordinating all these activities. And we are basically monitoring things now. Our shelters have been all inspected. Mark you, we are having a little challenge with one or two, especially in Flagman. It, it is a little bit of distance away from the citizens to reach to the shelter that we identified said something. We would have explored all the shelters within that region. But unfortunately, we are still picking up pieces from the wreck. According to Solomon, some of the churches, they have rushed out to stay, say they were not equipped to function as shelters, and the St. Elizabeth Health Department indicated that its facility is unlocked to be used as a command center. No alternative. Well, that's the next section of the article. As a result, we are left with no alternative but to use what we have at this point in time, said Sullivan, who noted that the parish disaster coordinator has Then compiled a list of shelters that could be used if needed. Now, nonetheless, for the future, we have to see how best we can restore that shelter. The community center in Flatland, because it's critical. There are arrangements for persons to move to that shelter that they provided. The citizens would have been made aware of it. What we are prepared to do is to provide transportation to assist those persons to the shelters we would have identified. In addition, all right, I don't go too much in the story. I know this is a snap, so I want to go on here. Oh, vandalism alert. Where is it? Let's see where I don't have to about large earth telecom companies to commission hotlines to report theft from utilities facilities. From stealing fuel to vandalism of cable wires by unscrupulous persons for trade in the scrap metal industry. The leading utilities companies agrees that weather conditions rising from the passage of Hurricane Melissa may not be their biggest threat to restoration. The Minister of Energy, Communication and Transport has recommended that a vandalism theft hotline be commissioned to safeguard against the illicit practice during the passage of the Category 4 hurricane. The latest act of vandalism took place between Saturday night and Sunday morning in Cassia Park, tripping the services of telecommunication provider Flow. Stephen Price, Vice President and General Manager for Flow Jamaica, said this also comes on the heels of fuel being stolen from its cell site earlier this week. Unfortunately, during the pre-storm assessment and in the past week, we found 10 power generators, some 1,300 gallons of fuel were stolen in the past week. I asked the public to be eyes and ears out when you see doing anything out there that's not to hurt anybody near any of the sites. Just report it to the police, Rice said. That is not that burning people, them criminals, easy, The cell towers. Without the cell towers, I can't have this phone in my hand for use. Because the cell towers and then pull out the signal across the place in Jamaica. So then them rather say the cell towers then fail for people to communicate Without these cell towers, how we communicate with each other, and me communicate with my YouTube family. These guys, they're not thinking just for a buck, just for money. That's why somebody say, another love of money, and the road to evening is the lack of money. People who lack, who don't have it, will do absolutely things to achieve it. Look, them, some of them are trying to thief the same cable wires that the cell companies use for scrap metal, and then at the same time they are troubling the generators, steal or the diesel oil from them. These guys, they don't have any sense. We need the cell towers to be untouched by these woodlums. In such situation, whether before the storm or after the storm, we need them to leave the cell towers them alone. A long time they might for us the people in mind. Alright. Family General. He was among the heads of utility companies who were jointly hosting a press conference at the headquarters of the Jamaica Public Service yesterday morning. Steven, CEO at Digital, said theft and vandalism can cause major setbacks. Both companies' firms have been had 150 new generators since last year. That's almost 70%. We have 925 towers across Jamaica. I want to stress helium batteries will only last 3 to 6 hours, while generators will only last as long as fuel is in there, and that's important. McGrath said, adding that fuel theft hurt the company during Hurricane Beryl last year. They said that in St. Anne, during passage of Hurricane Beryl, the company facility was drained of every drop of diesel fuel, which is why we lost St. Anne, not because of the winds or anything like that, but because individuals decided to drain the tanks. I can't stress enough that if you take any critical infrastructure, whether you want to go and steal the diesel, get frustrated because of security measures and decide to damage everything. It will take us much longer to provide critical service for our customers, and that's just unacceptable, McGrath said. He also outlined that today's society is more impatient than ever before and asks for patience as the utilities recover. In some instances, we have gotten to have to rebuild, and that is a factor. It's going to take time, like Brad said, adding that the country would need to be back up and running again to continue building on its economic gains. Manchester Munda, Minister of Water and Environment and Climate Change, said the public, while staying safe, should look out for suspicious activities. Wow, 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 wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Also, it is giving me time as I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wow. As I continue to read read today's cleaner rates. Now discount. Okay. We are not ready. The Court of Appeal has upheld the sentence for a man convicted of murdering two children in St. James in 2014, rejected his claim that he should receive a lighter sentence or pleading guilty. The court ruled that the trial judge acted as dark clouds gather once again over Jamaica's urban plains. A sense of dread hangs heavy over the farming community of Flagman in St. Elizabeth, as many residents barely survived the fury of Hurricane Beryl. Say the Jamaica's ambassadors relief efforts for island Melissa Butchers highlight for Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Yes, we give thanks. We give thanks for the to be here, to be on. I saw some bulletin that JPS will be turning off lights 11 in the morning for Kingston, St. Mary. Some parishes are going to get lights are going to turn off earlier from early as the wind intensify in Jamaica. Because the utility poles have the wires out and actually even the wire underground. Them could have tapped in. It would be more safer to be underground than for the light posts and have the wires them up. When the breeze blow the wire, they can snap, can collide with each other. Because I think what live, neutral, live, so you have live live at the top, the neutral at the middle, and the live at the end. So the breeze can blow the way you want to spark up anything. But then decide anything ready. Up on the utility poles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me just do a little, reflection on everything. Yes, as I reflect again on the scripture, some people quote them, say the love of money is the root of all evil. But I put it a different way. Is the lack of money is the root of all evil. The lack. The lack of money. Not the love of money. The lack of money. But not so it's in go check the Jamaica cleaner. And go clean the observer, the Jamaica observer, sorry. So it has to say here. which part is I was trying to say which part the picture they look things look maybe what is some polar but they get upon Manchester just over a year after the business and homes were ravaged by Hurricane Beryl. Fisherfolk and residents here say they are not taking any chances with Hurricane Melissa, which is up to late afternoon Sunday, was forecast to make landfall in the vicinity of that fishing village on Jamaica's south coast. Everal Christian, owner of the Oche seafood restaurant, was battered by Hurricane Beryl last year, and the councillor Omar Robinson from the People's National Party Alligator Pond Division told the Jamaica Observer that preparation have been made to secure properties in Alligator Pond and also to evacuate the coastline areas. In Alligator Pond, we are start to get high tides, which is very unusual, and we are getting showers, not a large amount of rain as yet, Christian said on Sunday via telephone. We are preparing ourselves and we are not going to step aside like with Beryl, as I said, it will just come and go like based on what we hear so far, it is going to be a big one. So we are trying down all the things, tie down all the things that we can tie down, take off what we can take off, put aside, Christian said. It is first, I see, the fishermen take it so seriously because the boat almost pushed right to the housing scheme. He added in reference to the efforts made to get fishing boats as far inland as possible. Councillor Robinson, even as fishermen move to secure their vessels, we encourage residents to evacuate the area. I visited the seashore this morning, Sunday. The waves are climbing higher as I speak. When I reached out to the parish disaster manager, Mr. Weaver Lewis, he mentioned Alligator Pond is now under an evacuation order, and the same was confirmed by the police. We should start making preparations to evacuate the area, knowing that Hurricane Melissa is now Category 4 and is still making landfall on the coast and road into Alligator Pond. He said, I am here preaching evacuation, but we hope residents will buy into it. The shelter is ready at New Forest High School, and for next hour I should be doing some work to clear the swamp. It is at capacity. We are heading to that area to clear the swamp so that the water can run out. I provide all the residents in order to get appliance space. Start the year to the orders of evacuation and keep as safe as possible as we brace for the possible impact of Category 4, Melissa, he said. Hurricane Melissa is cutting a deadly path through the Caribbean on Sunday, straightening into a Category 4 exit. Lord along worrying slow course towards Jamaica and the island of Hispaniola. Melissa has already been 3 deaths in Haiti as its autobahns brought heavy rains and landslides to the impoverished nation. Wow. Child welfare facilities prepared and secured ahead of hurricane. Mm-hmm. Wow, wow, wow. Oops. Transaction. Right, just into that. Right, yes. What the fuck? Look at it then. This is what I'm going around me. Yes, indeed. Okay, Gilbert, category 3. And it's, boy, Gilbert did walk back in now, Gilbert. Go on, let him go and walk back. That's why I would love to do a sing. He said, Gilbert, you come. Oh, we can't tap you in your back. We walk it back. Yes, indeed. It's category 4. That's not 3. And it's going into a number. Category 4. Then going to leave Jamaica and turn into a category 5. into the Cayman Islands. That was in 1988. All right, be ready to answer any questions. Fire scriptures Exodus 12, 20, 25, 26. Remember verse Joshua 4, verse 24, that he might fear the Lord God forever. Motivational quote. A baby is born with a need to be loved and never outgrows it. Prophetic word for today. You will live long to see your children's children and enjoy the reward of your labor in the name of Yahshua. Many adults of today did not have the opportunity of asking family history questions from their parents or grandparents. Thank God for MFM, which is a ministry that has taught us to ask questions from our parents about our family history and events. Parents should encourage their children to ask questions, to be willing to provide useful response and information to these questions, no matter how foolish they may look like. Hebrew children were encouraged to ask questions, and their parents were enjoined not to stop their inquiring minds. Information is power, and it is also useful. It helps young people to know the history of their families, learn about the mistakes of their progenitors, learn not to fall into the error or sin of their grandparents and parents, and learn to separate us from the evil of our progenitors, and, and more important, to fear God. Apart from allowing children to ask questions, parents should also cultivate the habit of keeping family records. One way by which we can give accounts of our lives to the next generation is by keeping a good diary of significant events and a good spiritual journal in our family. More important to do and not leave spiritual deficit and liabilities for them. Clear your foundation and deal with evil ancestral issues. Do not leave these for your children to inherit. If you deal with most of them, your children's destinies will easily find expressions and your life's journey will be full of fulfillments. There are benefits attached to encouraging your children to ask questions. First, they will develop critical thinking skills. Second, they will develop problem solving skills. Third, it is it will help to build their confidence and self-esteem. It will improve their communication skills. In addition, it will deepen their understanding, research skills, and creativity, as well as prepare them for life. Beloved, encourage your children to ask questions, provide, they, provide them with all the items of information that will help them fight the good fight of faith. Be wise. And this has brought my devotional reading to a end. Yes, to encourage the youth with children them to ask questions, because Hebrew children were urged to ask questions. Quite is a good thing. And you shouldn't leave any spiritual debts or physical debts for your children for them to inherit. Yeah, man, a whole heap of little things are going on in our island here, man. So when we read the deal is then you notice when touch upon the bad news, well, there's a little snaps here, miss. The children's home facilities are secured ahead of Hurricane Melissa. Port Legacy Citizens Advice Bureau Basic School celebrates 45 years. Let's see which part is here. Oh, 11. Government of Jamaica has ordered mandatory evacuation for 7 flood-prone communities across the island as Hurricane Melissa tracks towards the country. The communities are Port Royal in Kingston, Portland Cottage, Rocky Point in Clarendon, Old Harbour Bay in St. Catherine, Taylor Land, New Haven, Riverton City in St. Andrew. The order which the government has said was made in constitution with the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPM, takes effect immediately. Jamaica remains under hurricane warning with Melissa, currently Category 4 storm, expected to hit the island as a major hurricane Monday night or Tuesday morning. And it is forecast to bring life-threatening storm, surge, and wind and rainfall. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, man, we should put on some tea. Plug in the kettle and make it go on. Bubble up some tea water. About 2 minutes or so, or 5 minutes. Water might really come. When you drink some hot water or tea on an empty stomach, it does a whole lot of good to the body. Burn out stuff out our system. The man tea should be drink on empty stomach. According to the government, the action follows the disaster risk management an order made on October 24, 2025, which declared that the entire island is a threatened area. The evacuation order remains in force for as long as the declaration of threatened areas under remains in force, the government said. Mhm. Yeah, these cranes, guys, you know, build them high-rise building in certain places in Kingston to secure them for 2 years. I and Melissa police calls on operators to immediately secure cranes. Kingston, Jamaica police have issued a public safety advisory calling for urgent actions from operators and construction companies to lower cranes ahead of Hurricane Melissa making, making impact. Photos of massive cranes towering over the corporate area have been circulated on social media. The police on Sunday urged the operators to take immediate preventative action by lowering these cranes to a safer, secured position. This measure is critical to mitigate the significant risk posed by these cranes during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. collapsing cranes or falling debris can cause severe injury or death to individuals on or near construction sites, can cause extensive damage to surrounding buildings and infrastructure and public spaces. The wall barriers lifted. This article of the Jamaica Observer, Kingston, Jamaica drivers using the country's tolled highway will have free access to the roads as the toll barriers have been lifted in accordance with directive from the government. And the Minister of Transport, Harry Fowles, has said last week incident that at some point the tolls boards would be open to give free access to emergency vehicles and to ensure there was no buildup of traffic as Jamaicans were first put on tropical storm watch, which is now hurricane warning. As Hurricane Melissa's packing winds of up to 140 miles per bears down on the island. It is expected to make landfall somewhere between Monday night and Tuesday morning, Buzz announced on social media. But he has signed an order for the toll boats to be opened. Kingston, Jamaica students of the University of West Indies Mona campus who will ride out Hurricane Melissa at the facility were provided with storm supplies on Sunday. The Bell Foundation Entertainment, the Mona, the UWI Mona Guild, and Ramesh Entertainment Club to provide students with essential items, including canned meats and fish, toiletries, snacks, and bottled water, etc. It partners to ensure that students who are unable to return to their homes are thoroughly covered during the season. We went to all the halls on campus and made sure products were distributed, a Guild representative said. Student pose trays of ramen and cup noodles and case of bottled water as the country prepares to weather what forecasters say it forecasters say will be a devastating storm and intense rainfall, storm surge and landslides. They say to me, let's continue here. Reggaeton residents evacuate on eve of Hurricane Melissa. See a bus there, the JRTC bus, and see residents um, lined up with their with belongings, boarding the buses. I see Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, as his residents disembark in a JTC bus that from Raytown residents to shelters before the arrival of Hurricane Melissa. Wow, that is nice. Because Raytown, they down the road. Yeah, man, Raytown, they down the road. From me, I am up the road. Residents of Raytown made the decision to evacuate the seaside fishing village Sunday evening with assistance from Mayor of Kingston Andrew Swaby. Evacuation comes before Hurricane Melissa is expected to hit the island as a major category hurricane Monday night or Tuesday morning, and it is forecast to bring life-threatening storm surge and wind and rain. Raytown is one of the many seaside communities face flood risk. Residents, including the elderly and families, were feared via they were feared via JOTC bus to the Holy Family Primary School, which is being operated as a shelter. Authorities, including politicians, disaster preparedness agents, and police officers, have for several days been urging residents to evacuate areas to move into shelters with mixed results. You can see quite a few people on the bus. I know the bus them long, so I see a good amount of people in there, all elderly people and thing on the bus. And the JOTC bus there with Mayor's baby. All right, IMO and World Food Program preparing for post Melissa assistance to Jamaica. Mm, Kingston, Jamaica. In anticipation of Hurricane Melissa direct impact on Jamaica, both the International Organization for Migration IOM and World Food Program say they are conducting coordinating to dispense aid to any affected residents in the coming days. The IOM says it is preparing a shipment of relief items from Caribbean Logistics Hub in Barbados in collaboration with WEP following the expected passing of Hurricane Melissa. Melissa strengthened to a Category 4 storm as it is mandatory, sorry, Madrid's towards Jamaica is expected to bring flooding and tropical storm force winds, potential landslides, and storm surges. The shipment includes items such as solar lamps, hygiene kits, beddings, blankets, pillows, air mattress, indoor tents, shelter, shelter repair kits, ropes, tarpaulins, generators, which are being um, purchased based on the government of Jamaica forecast needed. Items are expected to arrive in Jamaica by Thursday, IMO said Sunday afternoon. The supplies were made available through the support of European Union aid. Mm, goods 360 Amazon. So the money most of my people like is a coordinated effort other places. Even Amazon, as I mentioned there. All right. Their contributions are positioning the organization to act swiftly and effectively in the face of the emergencies, IMO said. In addition to the shipment, the agency will also draw on existing relationship with Airbnb for accommodation, DHL for transportation and logistics training, and Microsoft for damage data analysis, and welcomes additional partnership and donations to support people displaced by Hurricane Melissa. Kidoki. Wow. Mm. All staff from the Caribbean and regional offices are also being mobilized to join the Jamaica team to support their response on the ground. Personnel will work in coordination with national authorities, ensuring that assistance is needed and guided by Jamaican emergency management protocols. Okay. Yeah, I have to take a look on it a while ago, I say, the thing, so, Natasha Reeves, who coordinated IMO response to Hurricane Bruin in Jamaica in 2024 under the project funded by the Central Emergency Response Fund, is now acting as interim head of office for IMO Jamaica. He emphasized the importance of coordinated action. Yes, we give thanks to what we see here. You know, it's all wonderful and well. To be frank with you, go take a look at my tea. Tea must stop, you know. Oh, that's my like. It's not enough tea for it. One special cup of me drip my tea out. I like tea, but we don't like enough tea. So it's not enough tea fan. Tip a little lime and ginger and the hot water here. Tip some more. Yeah, man, yeah, man. You know, must drink tea. Uh, Empty stomach. Good for your body. All right. Take a sip of it. Mm-hmm. Those two look a sip on burp already. The ginger so powerful. And the lime. Good combination. through the rain, been drizzling. With the cold front, the place is kind of chilly, so can't afford this to get cold. Drink it while it's warm. Excuse me. Somebody has said, oh, people are drink tea from ancient time. I don't know what happened to some people. Drink your tea, yeah, man. Okay. Greetings. Just look down and say come it's a forwarding back. Yeah, check the YouTube streets. This is a category 4 hurricane is a forwarding towards Jamaica. The last time storm a big storm like this came to Jamaica was 37 years ago in 1988. That time I was 11 years old. hmm Going to primary school. I was in this same house. Yes, this same house. hmm The name of that storm was Gilbert, and I think 1950 a storm came to Charlie. Wow, is it Pier 37, 37, 37. Can see you clearly. Next time around, I try change the bulb. Probably the bulb on. If I change the bulb. If I change the bulb. Understand. But me, I see myself on other devices. But that's how it goes on my time, brother. Yeah, this is how we look a room. This is my man cave. Yes, I look a right now a room, look a snack pan over there. Yeah, look a room. We'll make sure I have a bottle of water. Cause we don't drink the pipe water. Make sure I have a bottle of water. And thing. Oh yes, see the people the more that say so and so about I room. So room, yeah. When I say I leave out of my room. Excuse me, I'm going to the living room. Then I'm going to the kitchen. This place is a really a 1 bedroom studio, but we never want to waste the space. We part it off. This is a 1 bedroom studio. The next room over there, so but we part it off. And the veranda. The veranda. Yes, yes, yes. And the bulb, man, I forgot to change the bulb there. I want to listen to the bulb there. I could look a while. LED bulb there serve a good while. I give thanks for it. For yes, indeed. So here's a sign off right here. Big up on yourself. Sorry about that. Most them can't say we can't do anything about that. So after just work it over, after work it. Next time around, I tell the people them what kind of phone I want to afford with. Can make content with. So big up on yourself. Forward up back. See if we can go into some outdoor scenes later around the time light up, daylight. A couple more.